If Andre won't go to Hawaii, Bob Reisner and I would like to volunteer.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We are totally available.
Hey, we're available.
And we
don't lie.
No,
we don't lie.
Honest. We're honest people who don't lie.
We're very truthful, and we dive, and we'll do whatever you want.
Exactly.
I mean, you know.
All you have to do is show up.
All you have to do is show up. Okay, you just give me the address. Text us the address, and we're
Yeah,
there.
Andre's full of promises. We'll deliver.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'll even shave my head and act like I'm Andre. How about that? Okay.
Style it out on the longboard.
No. If shaving his head's cool, acting like Andre would be acting like a lunatic. So.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He said he was working like a lunatic.
Yeah, there's a bunch of lunatics in this booth right now. But we are underway with the 8 and under Grom race right now. You're taking a look at a tandem 8 and under paddleboard. We talked about this earlier.
Drew, have you tried tandem?
Bob, I never have because I can't even paddle by myself. I don't want to screw somebody else up.
I went out with Lance, and him and his son Jeff, came in second overall in the unlimited division. And it's a really difficult thing to do because everything the other person does transitions to the board, and it's tough. And I'm amazed. Of course, these kids have phenomenal balance.
Oh gosh, balance is no thing for them. They can do somersaults on these boards.
Yeah.
As you're looking at a tandem duo going up right there. The board's barely above the water, but this race is all about
wait a
fun.
minute. Is that the Pohana that's powered?
Yeah.
It is.
It's a Bahana power.
I'm like going. They're not paddling. Look at how fast these guys are going.
All three of them. Let's stack a few more kids on there. But
that's what I'd be drafting.
That's what I would be on. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to see about that board for tomorrow. I might use that.
Good idea. Let's catch Bob. You protest. You only lose 2 minutes.
Yeah. 2 minutes. I'll still win. Because I'll paddle out and then I'll turn that bad boy on.
Yeah. I wonder if these guys are in the race. I don't think they are.
I hope not.
They're
having fun. Look at this.
Look at that turn. Pretty good booty turn. Look at that. They can walk all over. You are trying to walk on a board like that or wet.
Yeah.
But
I'd fall off the board and leave me.
That's true. You'd have to leash it to your neck or something, like a dog collar, spiky dog collar. But Dax Willard, a local here in Tahoe, his son was in this race, and I saw him go out. We're trying to find him on the water right now, but he had water wings on. And he's paddling with water wings. We'll see if we can grab a shot of him real quick. 7-year-old little Dax Willard kid out there in the Grom race today. But the official results are in from the 12 and under Grom race. And let's get that up to date right now. That in the men's category, we had Trent Carter in first, Josh Bracken in second, and Mr. Phillips, Dax Phillips, in third. For the ladies came in with Maddox Springer, Reese Staples, Alex Higginson, Zoe Carter, and Jessica Brackett round out the top three in the 12 and under. So this is the 8 and under right now, and the results are coming in. It looks like we have Jacob Brackett, 7 years old, another Brackett. They're in every single event. They cover it all. Trip from Kings Beach. That's all we got for the Trip Boyer, my problem. And then Alika Zenin from Homewood, so a bunch of local athletes here in the 8 and under.
Yeah, and you'd expect them to do well. I mean, this is their backyard, but they train hard too. That's the other thing. I mean, they're out there playing all the time, but they're training.
Oh yeah, and I guarantee they'll be competing in the sandcastle competition.
I know. Yeah. So, and, the other neat thing, if you pan out there, you see all these people testing boards and trying out new boards. I mean, we were down trying some of the new styles and that. It's just fun, all the people out there paddling and trying out the sport. And, an event like this, people say, I don't race, but, come on out. You can have fun. You can try out new boards, and even the 2 mile race. It's a fun thing to do. It's not about the competition. It's about having fun.
And that's a good point, Bob Reisner, is if you're from out of town, you're coming into town tomorrow, you're here now watching this in your hotel room or whatever, come on down because there's not a better opportunity to try out any and every board design on the planet, including the inflatables, which we talked about. Get your kids out on some of these Grom boards. I mean, every manufacturer's out here to get you on the water and get you having a good time. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, the new yoga boards, I mean, the ones that look like a door, they're stable as can be, but they're fun. I took them out there, we're riding a few little bumps, and, it's all kinds of fun. Yeah. I mean, it's not just about racing, it's about having a good time.
It's so true. And we're looking at the water right now, kind of scanning back and forth. This is our 8 and under Grom race that was scheduled for 12 o'clock. Coming up this afternoon, though, we're going to have our 4-person relay slalom race, Bob Reisner. And that's where things get exciting.
Oh, yeah, those slalom races are just, that's crazy stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of strategy that goes in. I mean, do you send your fastest people out first? You let them come back and clean up at the end? How do you want to do this? You get to those turns. They're usually short races, so the turns are, critical. I mean, getting out there, and like they say in those kind of races, man, if you're not rubbing, you're not racing.
It's true. It's almost like they should be wearing pads.
Yeah.
Helmets, elbow pads, all the good stuff. These power boards, man, I'm going to get myself one of those. That's the first time I've ever seen one of these things.
Yeah, my problem is if I'd have taken that on the 10 mile, I guarantee at the farthest point from the start, it would have run dead, and I'd have had to paddle it back.
And then you have to paddle the whole thing, which kind of contradicts what it was all about. Just a little shout out to all our sponsors that make this webcast possible and this event possible as a whole. Quicksilver, obviously, the title sponsor, Boardworks, Ocean Minded, GoPro, Jake's of the Lake, Kona Brewery, North Lake Tahoe Visitors Authority, Sup the Mag, Tahoe TV, UGG Footwear, Starboard, FCS, Wavejet, Slingshot, Glide Sup, Bic, Pahuna, and YOLO Board. So some great sponsors that make this fantastic. Yeah. And two of the younger kids out there right now on the water. We'll see if we can get up close to them right now with our camera angles. I don't know if we can, but we have a couple kids out there on inflatables. It looks like it's Jira McGuire and Max. I want to say, I can't pronounce his last name, but they're out there on the new Grom inflatable. So even the Groms are getting into the inflatable world.
Man, I see UGG's one of the sponsors, man. I wish they would have been here early this morning, man. I got here, it was like 47 degrees.
It was 38 degrees here in Tahoe yesterday morning. So Dave and I were talking about that earlier. Like, it's fall. Yeah. Fall's here.
I mean, I stopped at Starbucks and dropped $50 on coffee just to keep warm, until everybody got here.
Look at this shot right here. We got the young Grom in front and the parents behind her saying, "You're not going to quit." That would be my dad. My dad used to make me run home after a basketball game if I didn't play hard, and he'd just sit there and idle behind me, But these kids out there, the parents just motivating them along. And, I mean, she looks all of about 6 years old.
Yeah, if that.
So I'll tell you what, it's really exciting to see this many Groms participating in these events because you've seen it more than I have, Bob Reisner, over the course of the years. The Grom races, I mean, there used to be like 5 or 6 kids. Now you're seeing, I mean, this field is 50.
Well, and that's the neat part. The sport's growing, and those are going to be the people that are going to move up into the. I mean, I can remember back when you had like Matt Becker and that whole group, and they were just like 14, 15-year-old kids, and now look at them. They're out there killing it. Kai and Connor and all those guys. And I mean, like I said, 5-6 years ago when we got into this sport, they were all just kids. Now look at them. They're now they're approaching the world champions. I mean, like Danny Ching says, pretty soon he's going to be like, hey, I got to step aside.
That's exactly it. And I mean, it's not too far off. 12 years old, you're only looking at 6 years. A lot can be evolved within one of these Groms in 6 years. So. Great shot of the water. Boy, the weather's held up perfectly for us here at Kings Beach. I mean, we got a little breeze coming in now, about 5 miles an hour from the southwest, but temperature's right around 74 degrees right now. A little bit of haze from a few forest fires we got going on in Yosemite Valley right now, coming in from the South Shore area there. But you see the parasailers out there. When the parasailers are on Lake Tahoe, that means that there's not a lot of wind because a lot of times they get pushed off when they start seeing 20-mile-an-hour winds or whatnot. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Much like Park City, Utah.
Yeah, Park City is definitely a nice place. Similar to Tahoe. I mean, we just don't have this beautiful of a lake. We have a bunch of small reservoirs, none of them with water right now.
That seems to be the issue with everybody.
Well, that's everybody's complaining here. Bad snow season and not much rain.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Coming up tomorrow on Supconnect's live webcast here at supconnect.com, we're going to have our 4-mile open race that starts at 9 a.m. So make sure to tune in for that. Also, the money race, Bob Reisner.
Exactly.
The Quicksilver Grand Champion Elite Race. The elimination heat starts at 11:30. The big race starts at 1 p.m. So you don't want to miss that because that's when the big checks come out, courtesy of Ernie Broussard.
Exactly. And, it's interesting. You wonder how many people that did the distance race kind of sandbagged a little bit today.
Hey, when there's money at stake.
Well, I mean, that's what you got to give it to Thomas Maximus. He goes out there and gives it all every single time. I mean, the guy was here, I think he got here on Monday or Tuesday. He's been mountain bike riding. He raced on Wednesday in South Tahoe. He's been, he climbed, did a 90-foot rock climb. The guy just keeps going and going. He doesn't know. It's either all on or it's not on at all.
It's true. And there's no neutral with that gentleman. No. We were just talking at the break there. I had a chance to catch up with him afterwards. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm about taking a 12-mile mountain bike ride in the morning and then coming out and just catching that 4-mile. I'm like, he does more he does more by 7 o'clock than most of us do all day. So.
He's up at 5 a.m. and in the gym. And it looks, and it shows, and it shows.
Called?
Yeah,
a gym.
A gym. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think they have weights in there.
So true. Yeah. But you're taking a look at it right now. This is beautiful North Lake Tahoe, Kings Beach area, home of the Talahu Nalu. born and bred here, right here in Kings Beach. 2007 was the first one, and now we are here at 2013, bigger and better than ever. Over 300 competitors in that first distance race. So a fantastic turnout for this year's event. Really excited for it. And you see, like you mentioned, Bob, I mean, a lot of people just out on the water really enjoying themselves today. Let's get to some of the results. Now, this is the most official. This is still not official, but it's the most official that we have results from the earlier races here. The 2-mile race in the men's category from Santa Cruz, California, Luca Senica. This is the beginner race, as we called it, but it's not even beginner. At a time of 17:57. In second place in the men's category, Brian Tilford from Westwood, California. In third place, from Corta Madera, California, Michael Skelly. In fourth place, Phoenix Sanchez from Kings Beach, California, right here. And from Tahoe City, Douglas Reed. That rounds out your top 5 in the 2-mile race. In the women's category, in the 2-miler, which took place this morning, from Santa Cruz, California, J.C. Suda. Now, Santa Cruz making a huge representation.
Oh, yeah, Santa Cruz. Always a big presence.
They definitely have some stature there. Starboard rider, 1902 was the time. Sophia Sanchez comes in second place from Kings Beach right here on a surf tech. And then a boga board making the top 3. Sandra Bosjastik from Truckee, California. And then Alexandra Higginson, the youngster, 9 years old, comes in 4th overall.
Fourth overall.
And then she races the Grom race. Is that even fair, Bob?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Now, this is what I'm used to. We're looking at the screen right there. Yeah. Usually I'd be sitting on the front.
Yeah, it'd be me. Yeah. It's a good place to be.
Just be sitting there, Indian style, with a Pabst Blue Ribbon or a Kona Brewer between my legs. Hey, Dad, paddle a little faster. I was actually talking with the Brackets earlier about their tandem. I caught them on the beach there, and I was like, he's like, Chris, usually Chris races on his 14.
Yeah, correct.
And I go, this is the first time you ever done this, Chris. What brought this up? He goes, I just wanted to have fun, and I wanted to do it with my kids. He goes, I work nonstop, 24/7, and my kids said, hey, Dad, let's do a tandem, and I couldn't say no, so that was really cool to see. Chris Brackett, and then I go, the funniest part was Josiah's on the back, barking orders towards his dad on the front.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because, depending on your positions, it's really kind of important because, that front person needs to steer. I mean, and you need to crossbow that thing around. This is stuff that Lance taught me. And I'm sure he was thanking Lance for bringing that board because that was an e-board.
It was.
That was an e-board.
One of the first design e-boards out there. So it wasn't even the latest design e-board that Lance was on now. And Lance was telling us earlier that he's actually designing a new 26-footer, which you're going to need like a semi to haul around, but it should be interesting there. The results for the 10-miler are also in the men's category. It says Rusty H from Kings Beach came in on the first outrigger, but I believe that's false. We're trying to get that updated right now because Jay Wild came in in the first outrigger. So there.
I just wonder if that was the 6-man, and that was the only person that was registered.
That's what I'm wondering.
Because what was the time on it?
That was the first one coming in at
117. That was the first one. I was standing up there at 117. That was the 6-man.
Good point.
Yeah, that's the one that Byron Kurt was in, and of course everybody says he's sandbagging. He probably just sat there and let them paddle. So he's got his energy tomorrow.
So
that came right from Thomas.
Of course, Thomas would have that information. Jay Wild, your first OC1 gentleman coming in, and then Rukin Jelks coming in from Chico, California. You don't think of Chico, California as having a lot of a supper outrigger, but he came in second place in the outrigger at 123, and then in the next outrigger was Charlie Banfield, who we just walked across the front of the booth right here from Fairfield, California, and then a Truckee outrigger rounding out the top 3 in the OC1. That was Douglas Riley. So there's your top 3 in the OC1s, and then we drop down to the Unlimiteds. Thomas Maximus, of course, the first person to cross the finish line in the Unlimited men's.
And I would just like to point out to the audience out there that Thomas looks like he came in 8th overall, but remember, every one of those outriggers started ahead of the sup racers. So and I'm not sure the exact time because they didn't do an exact, but it could have been 30 seconds to a minute. So you take that 30 seconds to a minute and add it onto their time. They're pretty close to Thomas on that Unlimited.
Very close. I mean, Maximus is less than 9 minutes.
Yeah.
From the first finish 6-man outrigger.
He was 9 minutes behind. It's probably 8 minutes behind him, and they had 6 people fueling that boat.
Yeah.
15-minute break. The webcast's going to shut down for about 15
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. And then we'll just round it out the top. The next Unlimiteds all came in as the Ericsson and Brackett, obviously the tandem trandoms. Brian Stockdale comes in second place on the Unlimited from Laguna. We talked about that earlier. And then Darren Hildreth, that rounds out your top three.
Out of Key West.
Out of Key West, yeah. So he made a trip. And then the Elite 14s. George's Constant, which is currently under protest. We'll get you that information. And then Rand Carter, Chase Kostelitz, and Jake Jensen. That rounds out your top four, which could shift and change as soon as Kelly French and Barrett Tester get to the bottom of that, courtesy of WPA rules. So we're going to take a quick 15-minute break here on Supconnect. We appreciate you tuning in this morning to Tahoe Nalu. Feel free to tweet us with any questions you got. Hashtag Tahoe Nalu 2000.
Yeah, the cast is going to be down for about 15 minutes. So we're not just taking a break. We're going to be down for about 15, but we will be back.
So we're going to pull the plug. Here we go. We'll be back.
But we will be back. God, what a beautiful day.
Jesus, no kidding.
So I was trying to find a drum on an inflatable
Yeah,
out
but
there.
yeah, well, it's,
You found one.
Yeah, you found one. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you sipped right over it before we could get to it.